Hi, I'm Hannah. This is Piles of Books, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a book haul. These are all of the books that I bought in the month of January. Okay, so as many people do, I set out at the beginning of the year with a grand plan of, not buying any books. I did give myself a few exceptions, and I did buy plenty of books for one of those exceptions. So I knew I was going to be going thrifting towards the end of the month with one of my sisters and one of our aunts. And I typically, buy books when I go thrifting. So I knew ahead of time that I was probably going to find some good books. The particular stores that we went to always have great books. So, and I did find some really good ones that I am very glad to have on my shelves. So I'm okay with it. So I have quite a large stack sitting here on the floor beside me. So we're gonna just go ahead and get started. Okay, so these are not in any particular order. I'm just going to go through them as quickly as I can. The first books I have are actually these 3 box sets of Junie B. Jones. This is the first 12 books in the series. Junie B. Jones is not high literature by any stretch of the imagination, but they are nostalgic. For me, I loved these as a kid. I did grab these when I saw them for my son who is 8, and he already flew through all 12 of them. I probably will just keep them on the shelves because they are fun, and I know that once my daughter gets to that stage, she will probably really enjoy reading them as well. Okay, the next one I have is this Alexander McCall Smith, Tears of the Giraffe. This is from the #1 Ladies Detective Agency series. I have several of these that I have collected. Actually, I think all of them have been from this particular thrift store, and I have 5 or 6, I think, just over the last couple years, but I haven't read any of them, so I need to get on that very soon. Okay, this one is called Carolina. 4 distinct novels set among the Blue Ridge Mountains by Yvonne Lehman. I don't know anything about this. It was 25 cents, and I love South Carolina. All right, the next one is Grounded by Netta and Dave Jackson. I don't know anything about this. It's just a Christian fiction as far as I know. The authors are a husband and wife writing team that I have read some of their history or Christian biographies. I had read them as a kid, and I've read them to my kids. So anyway, when I saw this, I thought I would pick that up. Okay, the next one is this 50 Science Things to Make and Do. This is by Usborne. This is a book that I have checked out from the library numerous times for my kids over the years, and when I saw this one, it's like in new condition. It doesn't feel like it's ever even been opened. I got it for 50 cents, so I was excited about that. Okay, next I have Watership Down. This is by Richard Adams. This is not in the best condition. It is kind of coming apart a little bit, but I don't have any copy of this, and I've been wanting to read it, so I am excited to have that one. Okay, then I have The Core, teaching your what does that say? Okay. So next I have The Core, Teaching Your Child the Foundations of Classical Education. This is by Lee A. Bortons. This is a book that I have wanted to read for a number of years, and I've just never bought it. So I think I got this, I got this for $2, and I was excited to find that because it is a little bit of a more pricey book if you buy it new. Next I have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I do have a copy of this book actually, but it was falling apart. Like the cover was falling off, and then the first I don't know, 20 pages or something were just coming out in one clump. So, and actually I don't know where it's at. My sister might have it. So anyway, when I saw this for 25 cents, I thought I should grab that. The next one I have is The House of Mirth. This is by Edith Wharton. I have never read anything by Edith Wharton, but again, it's just a classic, and I try to just pick up classics when I find them. Next is The Talking Earth. This is by Jean Craighead George. My son loves anything by this author. He has read a number of them. I know that some of them are for older kids, so I don't know anything about this, but I just picked it up, and I will probably pre-read this one before I let him read it. Okay, the next one is to add to our landmark collection. This is Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys. This again is not in the best condition, but it was a landmark and it was 25 cents, so I could not leave it behind. And if you don't know anything about the Landmark series, they are just there's a whole slew of them. I don't know. I should look up how many Landmark books there are. But they cover all kinds of history topics. I mean, just there's just a ton of them, and so I'm slowly building my collection of those. Okay, the next one that I have actually is this Adventures in Reading. This is from Bob Jones University. I have 3A and 3B. So these are like third grade reading, and they're just collections of stories of all different genres. There's poetry. One year, let's see, it was when I was in 5th grade, my family used this curriculum. So I was familiar with these, although these are newer editions, but they were $1 a piece, and I just could not pass that up. So I was excited to have these. There are some really fun stories in there from what I remember. So I think that will be fun to have for our shelves. And then this one, I Met You in a Story. This is from Bob Jones University as well. This is their 4th grade reading book. And I know that my son will love the stories in here. So when my family did it, I was in 5th grade and my younger brother was in 4th grade. And there were a number of stories in here that made him laugh. So I'm excited for my son to be able to read those. Okay, the next one I have is The Log of a Cowboy. This is by Andy Adams. And I don't know anything about this at all, but just flipping through it looked like something, again, that my son would enjoy reading. I do just love adding things to our shelves that my kids can enjoy and that we can enjoy together as a family. So I do plan to pre-read this because I don't know if it's for kids or not. It was in the middle grade section, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it passes my standards for kids. The next one I'm quite excited about. This is the workbook for Wheelock's Latin. My kids, we do Latin together as part of our school, and but I have seen this particular course before, and so I was excited. It's not been used at all. So that'll be fun to look for to find the actual, textbook for it. Anyway, so I grabbed that for, I think this was 25 cents from Goodwill. All right, the next one I have is The Princess and Curdie. This is by George MacDonald. So I have never read any of George MacDonald's works, I don't think. My son, though, he's in 3rd grade, and he is reading The Princess and the Goblin as one of his literature books this term. So when I saw this, I thought of him, and he was excited because he's really been enjoying that book. So I think that this just kind of continues the story, but I'm not totally sure. So he was looking forward to it either way. Okay, so next I have this, I Can Read Adventures of Pete and the Cat, or Pete the Cat. This is just a bind up of several Pete the Cat books. And when my oldest was learning to read, we had some just like really tiny, thin little of this I Can Read Pete the Cat books, and they have just kind of been destroyed over the years. But my second child is learning to read currently, and she has enjoyed some of the ones that we have left. So she was very excited to see this. And then along the same line is this big book of Berenstain Bears beginner books. So we do have a few of these. Actually, I don't think we have any that are in this bind up, but this one here, Bears in the Night, was one of my favorites when I was learning to read. So again, my second child who is learning to read is very excited about these. And then of course, they're just fun to read out loud to all the kids. Okay, so the next ones I have are for school for my kids. So we are using Ambleside Online, and I have a year 1 and a year 3. So it just works for our family to start the school year in January. So both my kids are in term 1 of years 1 and 3. So I needed just a few books to round out the ones that we already have. So I got the Blue Fairy book. This is for my year 1. And then I got the Leonardo da Vinci by Diane Stanley. This is for my year 3. And then the next one is this that we're doing together, The Rabbi and the Painter by Shoshana Weiss. This is about an artist named Tintoretto, who is the artist that we are studying this term. And I wanted to find a picture book about him for it to read with the kids. So I found this on Thrift Books, although it is new. So this was the most expensive book that I bought all month. But my kids have enjoyed this story. It's a very simple story, but the illustrations are they're simple and nice to look at, and we've all enjoyed it. So I think my oldest has actually read it to himself a couple of times, and then I've read it through once all the way with my kids, but we'll read it through at least one more time before this term is over. And I actually just remembered one more book, so let me go grab that really fast. Okay, so I also grabbed this, The Adventures of Marco Polo by Russell Friedman. This is also for my year 3. There are, for geography, they study Marco Polo, and they have a number of options on the website that you can choose from. And this just looked like the one that my son would probably enjoy the most. And I have also loved looking at the pictures. The illustrations are just beautiful. And then it is very nice because as part of the curriculum, he's supposed to map out Marco Polo's adventures. And in the middle of this book, there's a huge map that has made that easy for me to help him with, and for him just to be able to follow along. It's been great. So I definitely recommend this book as for part of that curriculum. That's all I have for you today. That's all the books that I bought in January. I say all, it's a lot of books, but so far in February I haven't bought any, so I am proud of myself for that. So if you have read any of these, I would love to hear your thoughts, and if you found some fun finds, especially thrifted books. I love buying thrifted books. So if you have any that you'd like to share, I would love to hear about it in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video.